Good morning, good morning, good morning. We back. It's Friday, guys. Back in the building. Get ready for another crazy price action day. Let's go. Believe it or not, we're still stuck inside the opening range from yesterday, chat. Gotta love it. Understanding Wiz. Good morning, good morning. Smoke, aka Ashan, let's go. Hey, you guys are some of the first comments. Krug Sailing, good morning. Stomp Gold 3. D-Money King of the BDH. At the BDH, let's go. Hey, I appreciate that, man. We back like we never left. Gonna see if we can make a little money. Once again, guys, so we had a flush. Gonna be a little interesting today, right? What I mean by that, we do have some news, obviously, at 10 a.m. Let's go. So this is the red folder news. Core PCE price index. So that's gonna be interesting. We just had a sell-off, pretty nice sell-off, chat. 124 points to the downside. So, I mean, it's like, what's going to happen now, right? I mean, yesterday we had a pump before market open at 9 a.m. We had a sell-off, and then we kind of ranged pretty much all day. The day before that, it was the opposite, right? So, what time is Patrick on? Yeah, PW's not here today, chat. PW's out fishing on his new boat. So PW will be back streaming Monday morning. You rocking with D-Money. Typically, I stream Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4. And you got me today. Let's go. When does PCE come out? Yeah, it comes out at 10 a.m. Kelly, good morning, D-Money. Hey, good morning. How are you? Morning, D. All the best today. Hey, I appreciate that, Norman. Oh, man, the chat's undefeated, man. Crazy. What's my favorite basketball player of all time? It has to be Michael Jordan, chat. Right? It would have to be Michael Jordan. I would probably say next for me would probably be Kobe. So Matthew, good morning from Sydney. Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining into the stream. It's 1 a.m. there? Oh, man. Hey, I appreciate that. Favorite WNBA player? I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. I'm not gonna lie about that. I like Aja Wilson as well. Obviously, right? She's been the MVP like so many times. It's crazy. So the reason why I like Caitlin Clark is because she's like shooting threes from pretty much almost half court at certain times, right? So that's crazy. And I got a daughter, guys, right? I got a 2-year-old daughter. So my goal, obviously, I know that they actually have on rival games here. That's like the 3-on-3 games. So when she gets older, obviously, I'm looking forward to taking her to some of those games, right? Yeah, guys. So if you're just tuning into the stream, PW is going to be back on Monday, chat. He's out fishing on his new boat. So if you haven't checked it out, you can check it out on his socials. Thing looks cray cray. So yeah, I just kind of pinned that in the chat so everybody kind of knows, right? I'm sure I'll still get that's gonna come up a million times, but all right. So let me grab a water, chat. Give me a second. Can't believe we're still in yesterday's range. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people can believe it. You're not the only one. All right. So let's look at the daily chart. All right, so the daily chart, guys. The high of the daily chart yesterday, yesterday's high was 25,732.50. So that's kind of marked out up here. The current daily candle was able to kind of put in a higher high, it looks like, at 25,755. But now it's kind of sold back down, right? So we're back inside of yesterday's range. We're back inside of yesterday's daily candles range, obviously, right? We know that. The low of yesterday's daily candle is 25,488. So maybe that news today, chat, is gonna kind of give us a move, right? To kind of finally get us going. I'm not sure. I mean, today this is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. We're inside of the 15-minute ORB from yesterday. And I think today we've got to be patient. We got to try to see what's going to set up. There was probably a lot of blown accounts yesterday. Because yesterday was a range market. And if you tried to play breakouts, you probably got chopped. If you tried to sell for breakdowns to the downside, you might have got chopped. So you had to basically trade the range. KC Futures, the way you love the way you always prioritize your daughter. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I blew an account yesterday. Yeah, it's crazy. Mr. 45 special, big chop consolidation. Yeah, chat. So today we gotta try to be careful. I mean, hopefully we're gonna get some decent price action at the open at 9:30. I'm gonna obviously let the 5-minute ORB set up. If it's not clear, then I'll wait for the 15-minute ORB to set up and try to see if we get some movement. But we got to be cautious because today's going to be a little different. We do have that red folder news at 10 a.m. So maybe that's going to kind of give us more clues as far as where they want to take price today, where they want to take the market. How do I copy trade from a tablet? Yeah, I actually have an iPad Pro. So the iPad Pro has the M4 chip in it, and it's just literally it's just like trading on a laptop. I use obviously Tradeovate prop. I go to tradeovate.com, right, and log in, and it's literally the desktop version, and I'm able to utilize the copier like I would on a regular desktop setup. So I can only speak on the iPad Pro because that's the tablet that I have, right? So, and no issues, chat, no issues with that. So I don't know if it works as well on the regular iPad, but I know that the Pro version works really well. Don't you think we need more of a correction? Correction for what? We've been stuck in a range. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, all right, so if I look at the daily chart, and I'm not like trying to, anything can happen in trading, but overall we're bullish. I think that's why everybody's kind of frustrated. We're above all the EMAs, even on the higher time frame, the daily chart, the weekly chart, right? Even on the weekly chart, chat, this is the weekly chart, we're above the 14 and 50 EMA. So on the weekly chart, you would want to see expansion to kind of come up here and take out these highs that's sitting at like 26,000 on the weekly chart. It's just a matter of what's going to get us there if they're going to take it higher. So, all right, on the daily chart, let me kind of take off the black lines because we know that we're kind of stuck inside of yesterday's range. We'll map out the ORB today. So you have to kind of take note of this. What's basically been happening, right? On the daily chart. So if you look at the daily chart, we're putting in higher lows, chat, every day. The problem is that we're not getting like clear follow through to the upside, and that's why people are getting chopped up. But we're clearly putting in higher lows, right? We got a low, higher low, higher low, higher low over the last 4 days. And we're kind of respecting the 14 EMA. So that's why I think there's a lot of choppy chop, right? Because if you're not getting in basically on lows, chat, so all right, so you have to basically kind of look at that on a higher time frame, and then you go down to the lower time frame and you're like, do I see any of the same patterns kind of happening, right? Where price is kind of putting in lows. And if you can kind of start mapping out on the lower time frame, like you got a bullish EMA cross and you got higher lows being put in, that's going to be your buy levels, right? Those are going to be your longs as an example, right? As price starts putting in higher lows. So you're basically trying to mirror what you see on the higher time frame on the lower time frame. But what's happening is the reason why people are getting chopped is because they're probably buying on a breakout. So like if you bought on this candle right here as an example, right? So if you bought on this candle up here at 657 and the next candle pulls back to 639, you're probably not feeling great, right? So maybe you close the trade. So that's kind of like the example of what's been happening. But overall, price is slowly grinding to the upside. It's just not giving huge expansion to the upside. And that's why people are getting chopped up. Hey D-Money, what indicator are those arrows? Yeah, it's on TradingView. So if you go to the brushes tab and you kind of look down under arrows, you'll see like arrow up and arrow down, and then you can change the color. You can change the color to black. Let's go. Daniel Corona, wow, thank you for the lesson. First time watching you. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, so if this is your first time rocking out with D-Money, I appreciate the support. So I kind of have that pin at the top of the chat. Today, PW's out fishing on his new boat. So you got D-Money. Typically, I stream Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4. So I'm just here trying to make a little money. Gary, D-Money 100-point move today. Let's go. Yeah, I hope so. So that's the play today, chat. I mean, I think everybody, if you traded yesterday or you traded the day before, you know that you got to be patient today. We're going to let the market set up. So my game plan going into the open is I'm going to let the ORB set up. I'm going to let the first 5-minute candle open. I'm going to see if it kind of establishes some momentum in either direction. And I want to see if price can kind of pick up and follow that. If it looks choppy on the following candles, then I got to be patient. And we do have that news at 10. So That's the game plan for me today, chat. 4-hour chart. This is your 4-hour chart that we're looking at. And I see the same thing. I see the same thing on the 4-hour chart. We're slowly kind of grinding to the upside. So, all right. Now, what's interesting here on the 4-hour chart, chat, these lows, like this low that was just put in, 25,580, probably needs to hold, right? If we're going to expand higher today. Because we've already had these lows to the left kind of put in already, right? We've had like 25,504, 25,000 like 490, 25,542. So that kind of matches up with, okay, is 580 the low of the session? That's going to be interesting to see based off the 4-hour chart. I wish D-Money would work from 9:30 to 4 every day. Come on, man. Ben trades futures. Come on, man. Oh man, yeah, guys. So that's the plan. I mean, my stream yesterday. I did a stream yesterday a little early. I think I started at 11:30 yesterday. So we'll kind of look at that. I'm not saying that I can't. Typically, I think PW typically streams to about 12. So we'll kind of see how that works out as far as maybe starting a little earlier than 1:30. But we'll kind of see, right? Blew all 5 Take Profit Pro accounts yesterday in the range. Was $200 away from filling the buffer. Austin, yeah, that happens. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but it happens, right? So I kind of said that yesterday, chat. Like if you're a momentum trader, like I'm a momentum trader. I know PW is a momentum trader. As an example, right? So if you're a momentum trader, you want breakouts and you want like nice price action to kind of continue in the direction that you're trading in. But the hard part is that if price basically is kind of stuck in a range, you got to kind of figure out how to be a range trader, chat. You got to figure out how to trade the range. And that range might not be you picking up 50 points or 40 points per trade, right? I mean, you got to be realistic. So do you trade pre-market? It all depends on if I see a setup, right? It all depends. If I see something that's worth trading. I mean, I was able to kind of scalp some of that drop on a few of the accounts. So I'm green going into the start of the session, right? I was able to kind of pick up some of the shorts. And now we'll kind of wait and see what happens, guys. Do me a solid. We got 2,639 people tuned into the stream, guys. The last time I think I did the D-Money show in the morning, we actually hit, the record for the D-Money show in the morning, I think is 3,000 likes. I think the last time we hit 2,500, guys. So want to try to push and see if we can at least get 2,000 likes on the stream today. Do me a solid, hit the like button if you're not subscribed to the channel. You know what to do. Let's go. Eugene, what's good, D-Money? Good morning. Hey, good morning. How are you? Somebody got a Dat Boy Good username. Hey, I appreciate the you liking the stream. Let's go. Good morning from Alaska. Wow. Ray, I appreciate you tuning into the stream. Yeah, we haven't done that. We'll probably wait until a little later, guys, to do it. But kind kind of see where everybody's kind of tuning in from. We haven't done that in a while, so probably do that a little later today. All right, guys. So I'm dropping a poll in the chat. Do you think we're going up at open? Curious to see what the chat feels, right? D-Money, have you ever took a trade before boarding a plane and landing in profit? LOL. Gary. No, I have not. But I'm happy you're in profit. Nice. D-Money is a prime example of traders helping traders. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I'm not perfect either, chat, right? I mean, I got things I need to work on as a trader, so need to hold some of these winners longer if they're going off the higher time frame. I'm kind of open about that. So, but now that doesn't mean that you hold trades all day in a range market, right? You got to be smart. But if it's a nice trend market and price is putting in, as an example, higher highs and higher lows, and it's trending with momentum to the upside, that's a good idea, right? As an example. I don't know why Jerome reminds me of Pinky from Friday After Next. Oh man. So far we got 500 votes, and the chat feels that 61% of the chat feels that we're gonna go up at open. My biggest issue is not being a good loser. Small losses turn into blown accounts. Yeah, I know. You're right. That's the hard part, right? How long did it take me to be profitable? It took over 2 years, chat. Over 2 years. Do a poll to see if we stay in the 15-minute range until close. Yeah, man. I mean, I hope not, but it's possible, right? Do I have a bias going into the open? I saw that question kind of pop up. Right now, I mean, on a higher time frame, guys, like the 1 hour chart, I wouldn't be surprised if there's upside, but I don't necessarily have a bias. I'm just gonna let price kind of open up and kind of show me what it's doing, and then try to make an informed decision. But I mean, and the reason why I'm saying that is because if you look at the chart, like I kind of mentioned before, you got like these lows that these higher lows that are kind of like being respected, right? So, and remember, chat, the only reason why I'm saying that, the only reason why I'm kind of leaning towards maybe an expansion higher, even if they push it down lower first, is because we were able to finally put in that higher high. So that means that, right, we kind of broke out, put in a higher high at like 755. So maybe there's more upside coming. But that doesn't mean that we don't chop first. We're kind of hanging out right now above the 14 EMA on the 5-minute chart. So yeah, the longs right now are probably in play, but you got 5 minutes until the open, so obviously I'm gonna wait. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a push to the upside, chat. But in order for that to happen, like, all right, this is what I'm kind of looking at on the 1 hour chart, and that kind of matches up with that news release coming out at 10 o'clock, is that maybe this was kind of like a low being established, and then we just expand higher. Take out the 25,683, and if that happens, chat, we're probably headed to like 25,800 plus. 4 hour chart, you got a nice size bottom wick. This is the 4 hour chart we're looking at. You got a nice size bottom wick hanging out above the 14 EMA. So that's what I'm kind of looking at right now. But you know, I'm gonna let price open up, and I'll basically see how we do. It's hard to have a strong bias when we've been basically ranging for the last few days. Why the sell-off before the news? Not seeing any news. Yeah. Why the sell-off before the open? Not seeing any news. Yeah. I mean, that happens sometimes. Actually, that's been happening for the last couple days. And I'm actually looking now at CNBC. Trump administration views Netflix and Warner Brothers deal with heavy skepticism, right? So I guess Netflix and Warner Brothers is trying to do a deal, and Netflix wants to buy Warner Brothers, guys, for $72 billion. So yeah, see, this is what I'm saying on the chart, right? This pump to the upside. Getting close for the market open. We got a minute and 34 seconds. Get your popcorn ready. So I'm gonna close out that poll. So it looks like 66% of the chat feels like we're going up at open. That's 1,012 votes, chat. So let's go. About a minute left. We getting ready. All right, guys, we got almost 3,800. We got actually over 3,800 people tuned into the stream. 3,820 people tuned in. You rocking out with DMONEY. PW is going to be fishing today. He's out fishing on his new boat. So you're rocking out with me. Typically, I stream 1:30 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. He'll be back. PW will be back on Monday at 9 a.m. We're going to see what kind of price action we get. Got about 25 seconds left. Do me a solid. Hit the like button if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed to the channel, let's go. A 1,000 people can vote, but only 800 can give DMONEY a like. Yeah, we got 942 likes, so we're almost there, guys. All right, here we go, guys. Here's the market open. Gonna let this candle kind of open up. This is obviously the 5-minute chart. And there's the upside move. All right, so let's look while this candle's pumping, guys. All right, we're above that ORB now, right? 712 or something was 713 was the ORB's high from yesterday. We're actually above that. Back on the 5-minute chart. All right, so that line you're seeing on the chart, guys, that's yesterday's high. 25,732 is yesterday's high on the daily candle, right? So we're expanding higher, guys. And I'm not surprised, to be honest. So I'm gonna kind of let it, I'm gonna wait for this 5-minute ORB. I'm gonna draw out the low now. Low is 678.25. All right, nice expansion, guys, right? About 95 points. You're above the EMAs, and the 4-hour chart looks crazy. This is the current 4-hour candle. Look at the bottom wicks on the 4-hour candle. It's Garvin, makes me happy to see you in the morning. Hey, I appreciate that. 4,200 people tuned into the stream, guys. Let's go. So I'm waiting for this 5-minute ORB to kind of get established, guys. Mark out the high and the low. Then I'm going to see if I can get a setup, right? That's how I trade it. Yeah, you're going to miss some of those breakout trades. But I got to stick to how I trade it, right? Because the day that I don't trade it that way, chat, that's when you're going to get a whipsaw action back and forth. So, but yeah, we found it. We're outside of that range and a new high was put in. You got a runner for sure. And that's kind of like, we're at the highs that I was kind of talking about. So if I go to the daily chart, I mean, 830s in play. Oh man, gotta love it. So the good thing is, guys, it's like a normal day right now. It feels like a normal session so far. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but meaning that we finally got some movement in one direction with momentum. So that's the encouraging part. Up 1258, nice. Yeah, I don't trade. You got about a 100-point move to the upside, plus. Right at 100 points. All right, so we're getting ready for the close of the candle. Couple seconds, 30 seconds left. 775.50. All right, so I want to see. All right, so the opening range 5-minute candle set, right? In about 5 seconds. We close above the 14 and 50 EMA. So are we going to get some kind of pullback? That's what's been happening typically, right? We'll get a pump and then you get a pullback back down to go higher. So I'm being patient. Got a small wick on that candle. All right, so here's the pullback. $14 EMA sitting at 678, guys. 50 EMA sitting at 689. So I want like a pullback. And if this is a momentum trade, 768, basically you want to see it kind of take out 768 and then push higher, right? If it's going to come down and do a deep retracement, so I'm gonna have a buy, guys, probably at $775. You got a decent sized wick, but on the bottom of the 5-minute candle, right? But if it can't kind of get up there and break out through the top of the range, then that's an issue. So that's why I'm saying that. Maybe there's a deeper retracement coming. All right, so there's it's trying to push. All right, I'm in the long, guys, from 776, trying to see if we're gonna get momentum to the upside. Be careful here because it could be a fake out and we kind of die out, right? So I'm trying to play the momentum. It was able to put in a higher high, guys, but it kind of pushed right back, right? So I want to see us kind of expand higher if we're gonna go. Trying to play the breakout trade, right? So I would say be careful, because if it yokes back on me, then I'm gonna close it and then basically wait to enter down at like 680. And this is just basically trying to play the breakout, right? It hasn't played all week, to be honest. So I need it to go, right? Might be a little bit harder today. You got news at 10 o'clock. So I would say be careful, guys. Target would probably be, if they're gonna push it, probably 800. But if we kind of pull back, I would say be careful, right? Because we're probably going to get chopped. And that's what's happening right now. So let's see if we can go. And we can't so far. Yeah. So no momentum, guys. Same thing as yesterday. If you didn't catch the pump. So I'm gonna close this trade, more than likely, and kind of maybe play the 15-minute range. Nvidia selling off. Let's take a look. Yep. Yeah. Yep. You're right. Yeah, so I'm out of that trade, guys. Have to wait for another setup. 5-minute chart. Rejection basically of the opening range. So this is what Nvidia is sitting at, the 200 EMA. On the right-hand side of your screen. So no momentum, right? We basically tried to take the breakout trade. It got rejected right back down. That's been happening pretty much all week. And we're coming back down. There you go. Gotta love it. All right, I'm gonna try another long, guys. Stop is probably gonna be below the 14 EMA, 679. I want to see if we can actually tap the EMA, and I see Nvidia kind of selling off. So this is the 1 hour chart on the right hand side of your screen on Nvidia. All right, so here we go. We're right at the 14 EMA, 679. Right at the bottom of the opening range. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So basically, this will kind of be the area you would want to see a pop back to the upside, guys, if we're gonna go higher, right? If not, we might range until that news comes out. Lot of volatility. Why would I buy when Nvidia is selling? Because NQ is actually bullish overall, guys, the higher time frame. So that entry was 695, guys, on that buy, right? 695 on the buy. Right off the opening range high. So, or sorry, opening range low that I kind of called out. So, all right, so that reaction, so basically now you want to see like if price can kind of get back above that daily high 733. I pretty much put the trade at break even. And I want to kind of see if we can get kind of follow through, right? But Nvidia is still selling off, so I don't know what's going on with Nvidia. Maybe some negative news. I got to pull that up in a second. All right, so what I would do, guys, is let's look at the 15-minute chart. 15-minute opening range is set. All right, just kind of $15-minute opening range. You got a long wick at the top. Nvidia is in a weird spot. All right, there you go, guys. Nice. So 5-minute chart on NQ. You had a nice push to the upside, ORB. If I map out the 15-minute one down because it is set, kind of like your low sitting at 673. And there's that push back up, right? I already showed the trade. Ash, where did you enter? You gotta love it, man. So I wouldn't be surprised, guys, now that we kind of trapped. Now, 10 o'clock is 10 o'clock is obviously news. You got the high sitting up here at 776. So I would say be careful, guys, because it's a little choppy. And I would say secure profit if you have it. And Nvidia is starting to try to push back up, but it's looking a little sketch. 15-minute ORB is set. It was bullish. So nothing right now says shorts unless we're back below 690. That's how I got to trade it, basically, right? If price gets back below 690, which is the 14 EMA, then maybe there's more sell pressure coming. The news in 8 minutes. Yeah, or the news, these guys can't pop their accounts, calm down, new traders, all good. Yeah, guys, yeah, you got news coming out in 10 minutes. So I basically just kind of scalped off the low, right out the opening range low from 674 back up. So, but I mean, you need kind of like Nvidia to go. And I don't see, I was trying to see if there's like news or something for Nvidia. And I don't see anything for Nvidia. Nvidia partners with Foxconn reports 26% revenue spike as AI boom continues. That was 4 hours ago. So, which technically probably should have been bullish. So I'm not sure. Mr. 45 special. Yes, sir. I'm green. I'll wait until after news. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised now. I mean, I don't know what kind of happened with Nvidia, to be honest, chat. But for that sell-off. But NQ's trying to grind back to the upside from 673. All right, so new 5-minute candle, guys. 10 minutes before the news comes out. We're kind of hanging out above the 1450 EMA. You got a bullish EMA cross. Price is not kind of matching up with Nvidia right now, and Nvidia's below all the EMAs to the downside. So I would say at this point, be careful, guys, because we might be kind of stalling out a little bit before that news gets released. DMONEY's calm demeanor and calling it as best as he sees it. No one can ask for more. Yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect either, guys. I'm not the, you know, I'm not the perfect trader either, right? I mean, I just got to call it how I see it. Is that always going to be accurate? Absolutely not. I don't claim to be the world's best trader. So just trying to make a little bit of money. But I mean, clearly we would need Nvidia to start kind of pumping, right? Like if and it's selling off, it's trying to sell off again, Nvidia. Trying to head for new lows. So yeah, I think at this point, guys, let's be patient. Let's see what, but I mean, now, is it 100% correlation with Nvidia at all times? Absolutely not, right? I mean, you got, if you took that opening range long, I mean, you were up nice. You probably don't even have to trade for the rest of the session because, I mean, that was a killer trade. And Q's trying to go higher. All right, so you had basically what I did is I went in and I put in, guys, the 15-minute ORB. The high was actually 773. I gotta change that. $773.50 actually. So that's the high of the ORB. So, all right, we're trying to break out again above the ORB, right? And there's the pop through. And right back in. So yeah, got to be careful, guys. You had a break above it, and then you basically had about 100-point retracement, right? Which is typical NQ fashion. And now we're kind of expanding up. So trap breakout traders up, you know, that were trying to go long, trap them, and then basically now you're trapping shorts. So here's the breakout. Still long from 700. Nice. So the problem is now it's like you got a news release, right, at 10 o'clock. So I would say keep that in mind, guys. I'm going to kind of wait for this news to come out. It's interesting that we're kind of grinding higher before it comes out, right? 1 hour candles on steroids. It looks crazy. This is the 1 hour chart. And that kind of buys into the theory that, yeah, that low that I kind of called out earlier, these higher lows are kind of being held up, right? That was the higher low in the session. Shorts now? Nah, I'm waiting for the news. I mean, I don't see any reason to get short right now, to be honest. I mean, the momentum is clearly to the upside. We just broke out to the above the opening range, so there's nothing to go short on. News in about 4 minutes and 50 seconds, chat. So I'm kind of hanging out waiting for that. So let's see what happens. Where can I find the news? I mean, I'm old school. I use forexfactory.com. Pump before the drop, always like that. Yeah. A lot of times. So I'm trying to, yeah, all right, right back inside the range. Let's go. Well, we're right at the range, right? The range high. Nvidia is still looking weak, guys. I mean, it needs to get back above the 14 EMA on the right-hand side of your screen. But NQ looks bullish to me, right? So there's really nothing that kind of shows me anything different. So what I mean by that is, obviously we had a 100-point retracement after the ORB was set, 5-minute ORB was set, but these like lows down here need to hold, right? If we're gonna go higher now. So like basically that matches up with the EMA. So like 713 level probably needs to hold and price kind of slow grinds higher. And who knows with this news release, right? What's gonna happen, so. I don't look at Nvidia any longer. It blew my account, so I broke up with her. Yeah, right now it's not really matching, right? It's not. NQ is above the EMAs. Nvidia is not on the 5-minute chart. So, or sorry, that's the 15-minute. 5-minute chart, same thing though. Nvidia is kind of struggling, right? So it's not really matching up right now, guys. So we'll kind of switch back to that in a little bit. We'll just keep it on NQ for now. Getting ready for the news release. And if this is a slow grind day, guys, longs are in play right now on NQ. On the 5-minute chart, right? Because that 14 EMA got tapped and respected, so we should grind higher. If it's gonna be a trend day. Right? If it's not gonna be a trend day, then that's another story, right? Do you have a YouTube Discord? No, I do not. Yeah, I only stream here at the BDH chat. I don't have a YouTube Discord or anything. All right, we got about 10 seconds left, chat, for the news to come out. Let's see what happens. All right, nasty, nasty. We're headed back down, it looks like, right? So back inside the opening range, guys. So I'm gonna let this kind of like 5-minute candle kind of settle down, like and probably close out, and then I'll kind of see where we're at. because this is technically a news candle, right? So, but we're hanging out right above the opening range. News did nothing, yeah. $15-minute chart. All right, and this is also the open of a new 1 hour candle, so we got to be cautious of that, but this is the 1 hour chart. So they're going to form some kind of bottom wick and then go higher. 14 EMA sitting at 25,712. Kind of uneventful, right? I mean, it pretty much tapped the top of the ORB, and then now it's kind of trying to expand higher. So I'll be patient, guys. I'll wait for it to kind of for this candle probably to close out, and then I'll look to, and actually, I mean, it's if it holds the ORB, guys, I'm gonna go like it's kind of doing right now. Longs are looking good, to be honest. So I'm probably gonna join a long. As long as we can hold the top of the ORB, I'll be looking to go long. That's probably going to be the play here for me. All right, so yeah, this is no pullback on this common entry on it. Yeah, I mean, all right, so you got a higher low that was kind of established, so this might be the new higher low, guys, right off the top of the range. It's tricky, not gonna lie. But I mean, this could be like a slow grind up, right? Because I mean, yeah, I mean, that's how I'm reading it. So I'm gonna try it, guys. If this candle closes like how it's looking right now in green, I like the long. Stop would have to be back below like 762, so that's the only issue. You gotta have like a decent sized stop, but this could be a slow grind to the upside. Let price come down a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna try it long, guys. And we'll see. Stop is gonna have to be back below like 765. I'm only gonna trade one contract for an expansion higher, right? Got to be careful because this could be the top of that range looking to the left, but want to see an expansion, guys. There you go. Nice. Maybe to like 850. I would say lock in your profit, guys. Don't feel like you gotta, but I'm just looking at, right, if we're gonna go, I wanna see like a pump, an expansion higher, right? 1 hour chart's looking decent right now, but I don't want this to run out of steam. You don't have a bottom wick on the current candle, but it already has a bottom wick, so just trying to see if we can expand, right? I think I was up maybe what, 15 points, close to it. So if I go to the higher time frame and I look to the left, this 874 level could be in play. We're kind of sitting here, but if we break out, yeah, 874 to 880 could be in play, guys, if they really push this. So we'll see if it breaks out or if it loses steam, right? I got 20 points. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if it goes back up, yeah, that was about a 20-point pop for me, right? At the highs. $827. All right, there's your 10 points. Yeah, somebody said they got their TP at 850. Yeah, that's like the range. I mean, but the problem is, the only issue right now is that we need it to go and not like kind of run out of steam, drop some shorts, and kind of expand rapidly higher. I passed my evaluation, ready to get funded. Let's go. Nice. Okay, DMONEY in the AM. the new TLR. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we just wanted to kind of go, like, right? Like, there's nothing that should be kind of holding it back at this point. And sometimes, guys, I mean, all right, that's 15 points, right? So I want to see if we can get up to at least like 840. All right, there's 20 points. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm going to take that off, guys. So that's 20 points. And of course, it'll probably expand higher now, right? Yeah, so 15-minute candle looks nice. I mean, it's right off the opening range, the wick. it's just kind of building up. No bottom wick on the current 5-minute chart. Oh man, you gotta love the chat, man. I love it. Everyone knows the market only goes up. SK Knight 45, I know, right? I wish it was that easy. Somebody said like, why did I take it off? I mean, it's and there's like 5 more points, so that's kind of like right where my TP was 845, right? It just basically hit 845. So I left what, 5 points on the table so far. It happens, guys. So we got 4,700 people tuned into the stream. I appreciate the support. Do me a solid, guys. Hit the like button if you're not subscribed to the channel. Let's go. Trying to make a little money. Yeah, there's the 847, right? Yep. You kind of want some kind of pullback now, though, and I don't know if that's going to happen, chat. You got 2 minutes left on this current 15-minute candle. We're at 1,300 likes, guys. Do me a solid. Hit the like button if you're not subscribed. You know what to do. And there's your 870, 860. Definitely looks like a slow grind day, 900 or even 26,000. Yeah, I think 26,000 today is in play, chat, to be honest. We've had a lot of nasty price action. We finally had a momentum kind of breakout ORB setup, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. I just want some kind of pullback now to see if we can kind of get the next long. We are at a pivot point. Be careful with stair step up because the elevator down comes fast. Yeah, I mean the elevator down always comes faster than the climb up, right? Still awesome trading, D-Money. Haven Trades. Yeah, I mean guys, I'm not perfect either, right? I mean what I wanted was on the ORB. I tried to trade the initial breakout of the ORB and that didn't play, right? I mean, that happens. I mean, I tried to basically go long up here on the breakout. And as you can see, we got a 100+ point pullback to the downside. So then I had to re-enter for a long down here at 677 and ride it back up, right? And then I took the next long like up here somewhere, right? So that's just, sometimes that's how it is, chat. Not every trade's gonna be, you're gonna execute, you know. I tried to play the breakout and they didn't give a breakout. Right? The breakout came 20 minutes later. Yeah, this is a slow grind up though. I feel like this is a slow grind up, guys. New 15-minute candle just opened. So now you would want to see some kind of pullback down, right? Some kind of pullback to the downside, hopefully, to try to re-enter for another long. So you can try to have a measured stop. D-Money always has a plan before entering a trade. He wins more often than not. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, guys. I mean, I tried to trade the breakout. That breakout trade is not going to work every time. And it's kind of weird that it's almost like they kind of know that there's a lot of ORB traders. So because that's clearly right. It's kind of like we came right back down, guys, on the next candle, right, and retraced 102 points. Then we expanded higher. So basically all I did on that second trade was I basically waited for price to tap the 14 and 50 EMA, which matched up with the open ORB low. And that trade played, right? So that's how it is sometimes. Nasty Glory, have a nice day, DMONEY. I got a final exam today to take now. Hey, good luck with that. I hope you pass. I remember those days, man. I remember staying up, chat. I used to work, man, I think I was working at a supermarket or something, like in high school and then going into college, right? Right before starting, like, I think I was at like Enterprise Rent a Car and all that stuff. Like I used to work full time and then stay up all night, like getting ready for exams and studying. Man, it's like, it's a grind. So good luck to you on that. Hope you pass. Jerome stole my lunch money, bro. Oh man, you gotta do something about that. I think I've seen you at Enterprise Rent a Car. LOL. Yeah, I used to work at Enterprise Rent a Car, guys. I was a branch, but if you see me, I mean, I started off as I don't know what they call it now, but I started off as a management trainee, which is basically like an assistant manager. And then I was able to get promoted to branch manager. So I respect anybody that's grinding, guys. You got to have a starting point. So, right, you got to start somewhere. But that job, I mean, basically, I remember like being in the shirt and tie, guys. I don't know if they have to wear a shirt and tie now, but you used to have to wear a shirt and tie, long sleeve shirt. And I remember, like, if your car prep person like called out for the day or something, you would have like all these customers in line, like waiting for the rent-a-cars, and you're literally outside washing the car, guys. And I live in Florida, so you would be outside like washing the car, vacuuming the car, like it's like crazy. Any discount code for rent-a-car? Nah, I don't have any. Matthew, I worked at Enterprise 7 years, LOL. What store you work at? I was 2186. I was in Fort Myers. That was in Fort Myers. I don't even remember the store number, guys. It was a Fort Myers location. And then I worked at Fort Myers Beach location. I worked at a few locations in Fort Myers. I actually worked at the airport. But, you know, it's like a big deal at Enterprise if you work at the airport location, right? Because that's like, they do the most volume and all that stuff, the most rental cars. And man, it used to be crazy because sometimes you wouldn't have a single car on your lot, chat, and you have all these reservations booked for the next day. So like you would leave for the day at like 6 o'clock or whatever time it was, and you're leaving and you're looking at your reservations for the next day, and you have like 20 reservations at like 7:30 in the morning, and you got 0 cars. So that whole business is basically based off of you anticipating like returns, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna get these many returns coming back today, and like all that stuff. It's crazy. Anyone famous ever rent a car from you? Sleepy Mocha? No. I was in Enterprise Rent a Car in Daytona early 1991. LOL, Savvy 1T. Yeah. Hey, some of the, you know, a lot of people might not know what you know, obviously everybody knows like Enterprise Rent a Car, the brand, right? But if you work there, chat, I mean, the one thing I took away from that job, and we're getting a retracement here back down, right? Which is kind of like what you want to see for price to kind of continue to grind higher. So you want like this higher low respected. Right off the top of the ORB. So you don't want to see price kind of break back below 775, right? So now it's just about like how can you kind of measure like your stop if you're getting long. This is the current 15-minute chart. So you kind of want a little bit more, more of a deeper pullback. You got the 30-minute candle closing in 8 minutes and 40 seconds. So maybe that's going to be a pullback. I'm not sure. But for the next entry, if you're going to trade it up here where price currently is, you have to put your stop below the previous candle's low. If you want to try to kind of manage your risk, that's the only way that I can kind of have a controlled stop. Because if not, my stop is going to have to be all the way back down, basically 60-point stop, right? Which I'm not going to do that. So if I want to get long up here, my stop would have to be back below 828. So I'm kind of watching here. So I'm waiting, but I want a deeper pullback, guys, to kind of go long again, to be honest. I would love for it to come down to like 800 level. Yeah, so the one thing I took away from Enterprise Rent-A-Car Chat was the customer service, because they kind of pride themselves on customer service and all of that stuff. So that was like one of the things that I took away from that position. So it's crazy when you look back on like some of these jobs. GS Trading, it hits hard knowing you started from the bottom and now seeing you where you are at now. It's motivating. Thanks, DMONEY. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, I've said that multiple times, guys. I come from very humble beginnings, guys. Low income housing, and I'm only sharing this so if maybe you're out there and you're trying to push hard or you're going through a rough time, like, it doesn't mean that it has to be permanent. But yeah, guys, single parent mom, low income housing. At one point, guys, like, my family, like when we first moved from like Panama City area, which is like in the Panhandle area of Florida, to like Fort Myers, we were living in a shelter, guys. We were living in a shelter. So, and I only share that to kind of tell you guys that you're, sometimes, yeah, maybe you're in a rough situation and it's easy to kind of feel defeated and maybe you're, why is this happening to me? But you got to grind. You got to push hard, guys. I'm just actually, and I'm only sharing that because, like I said, maybe there's somebody out there that is going through something similar. Ginger said the shelter go. Shelter go. Yeah, guys, but yeah, so just yeah, like and I'll never forget that. Like, right? I mean, it's something that, yeah, basically, you gotta that's why, guys, like, you gotta stay humble. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a believer in that. You gotta stay humble and be grateful for things that you have, because there's a lot of people out there that might not have it, right? And they're grinding. So DMONEY, this is why you're so calm. I rant to customers who just got their car crashed by an uninsured and now they want to rent a car and they're pissed. LOL. Amen, brother. Yeah. Guys, I've had a ton of jobs, like dealing with, customer service, like stuff like that. Obviously, like retail management as a store manager, running stores. So you're an inspiration, man. I've said before, I'm fresh out of prison after 10 years trying to make it. Stock market don't discriminate. No chill. Yeah, man. What I'll tell you is that this is something that it's not going to be easy, right? And you know that. I'm sure you know that if you've been trading for a while, but it's something that, you're right. No discrimination, right? And maybe you're trying to better your life, right? You got a fresh start. So yeah, man, nothing wrong with that. Push hard. cool how PW and you are different, but you guys work together well. Yeah, guys. I mean, we work together well, obviously. And like I've said it before, guys, PW is a nice guy. I mean, he's the thing is, you guys got to understand too, on the stream, he's a character for a show, but obviously he saw something in me, chat, and gave me an opportunity, right? He didn't have to do that. So that's why when I say that, I mean that 1,000%, right? Like he didn't have to. The BDH was running just fine, right, without me. So he definitely gave me an opportunity. So I'll always be thankful for that. All right, so I like the retracement, right? So like I kind of said, yeah, you want more. It's hard to kind of get long up here, like above like 850. You want like more of a retracement down. I prefer that just so I can kind of have a measured stop. And I kind of showed that on the chart, right? That would have been like a 60 something point stop if I got long up here, and I didn't want to do that. So I would prefer maybe we come down and we form some kind of, so I am watching this level, and if that 828 level gets broken, then that's a lower low. Okay, it just got broken. It just got taken out, right? So, but I would love it to tap like 800. Don't know if I'm going to get that, but that 30-minute candle, this is a 30-minute chart. It is bullish. So maybe that's going to be like another deeper retracement down, and then to try to go long. So I am going to probably wait for that candle. But I would say, would not be surprised, right? The market's kind of showing its hand now that, yeah, we put in a higher high, finally outside of that range that we were stuck in yesterday all day. Broke out of the opening range high of today to the upside. That expansion was roughly 94 points so far. And we're kind of ranging right now. 5-minute chart. Andy, what's good? D-Money, hey, how are you? Jose, hey D, wake me up when the market moving. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, now the typical NQ fashion. I mean, we had a nice expansion. All right, here's a 30-minute candle, guys. So this is what I was like kind of waiting for, that 30-minute chart to kind of close out. It closed bullish. Now that we kind of had a retracement down, is 827 like the short-term low, right? That's where you have to kind of like look at it, or are we going lower to like 800? So if I draw out this little area, basically you don't want to see this box get broken to the downside if you're a short-term bull, because that means that that higher low, that low that we just put in is going to hold, right? And we're going to span higher and take out 867. So I wanted 800 level, we got 827 so far. And it's holding as of now. Yeah, it's I'm gonna wait, chat. I'll wait for this candle to close and then kind of make a decision. If you're a breakout trader, you're probably looking for new highs to kind of be put in before you go long. So like you want to get in like at 868, 869, or even like above this candle maybe. Your stop would have to be like 828. And I'm just kind of, that could be a higher low that was put in, to be honest, to go up. And that's what it's looking like. All day Snell move up. How many look back bars for EMAs? I just keep it at default. I mean, I use the 14 and 50. Let me put that in there. Up 500 on all accounts, done for the day. Nice. Can you explain why did you place both boxes at the location? Yeah, those are basically lows. Those are higher lows so far that are being put in. So when price is grinding, or sorry, when price is trending in a trend market, you want to see higher highs and higher lows be put in, right? And if it's a trend day, then those lows should not be taken out because we're grinding higher. So that's why this area is like important, because if we drop below this low that was put in, I like the long here, guys, so far, right? If it closes bullish, somebody said that there's lower lows or something on the 1 minute chart. This is the current 15-minute chart. I mean, are we gonna get a retracement down? Possible. Opening range sitting at 775, right? The low. 30-minute chart, you got no bottom wick. Very small bottom wick. So that's a little bit of a concern. So we'll see. But clearly, I mean, up here is ranging, right? So far on these like last five candles on the 5-minute chart. So you had an expansion to the upside from the bottom of that move, almost 200 points, and now it's kind of expanding. So need a yoke candle. Yeah. All right. So that candle closed, guys. And I mean, if you take a long here, your stop has to be, my stop would have to be 828. Which is below that gray box. So I'm just kind of looking at this price action. Chicken Trader D5S didn't know you were streaming. Yeah, it should send you guys the if you have the notifications on, you should get an alert when the stream starts. PW's out fishing today on his new boat, so that's why he's not doing the AM stream today. So he'll be back on Monday, guys. Normal time, 9 a.m. If this is your first time rocking out with DMONEY, I appreciate their support. I typically stream Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4. Just trying to make a little money. We got 4,300 people tuned into the stream, guys. Do me a solid, hit the like. We're at 1,500 likes. I want to see if we can get at least 2,000 likes on the stream. Let's go. So that box is kind of holding right now. That I kind of drew out, right? Meaning that that higher low is being held right now. Doesn't mean that can't break. But it allows you to have a measured stop, right? Like if this trade, if I take a long and I can at least have a measured stop to like 827 or 826, and then if it retraces deeper, then that's fine, right? You can always re-enter, but I need something to happen here. Back to the 720s or what, D? I don't think so, to be honest. But I could be wrong. I mean, price right now is bullish. I mean, I think it would be anything's possible within Q. I mean, I'll say that. So on the daily chart, where could price go? If they're really going to push it up today, I would say probably 26,000 plus. It just could be a slow grind. That's the only thing. We know how that goes with NQ. A lot of times you get the move, you get an expansion up, and then it chops, right? And that's what's happening right now. Somebody else who said that in the chat. I was kind of laughing to myself because it's true, it's accurate. I'm looking for 882. Possible. There's no volume right now though. So something's gonna come, right? Either a breakout to the downside or we're gonna expand higher. But this level, short term, needs to hold that 828. If not, then we know that we're obviously clearly headed down. But then you got the next like low area down here that needs to hold, right? 790 down to like 765. Right off the top of the ORB. That could be a play. So the news that came out, pretty much no reaction, right? I mean, that was uneventful. But we're still kind of holding that box. That gray box. So far, that could change. So nothing to do right now, right guys? I mean, unfortunately, it's like paint drying right now. So we're either gonna flush through this gray box or we're gonna get that expansion higher coming. Haha. PW in the chat. He said, we making money today or not, guys? Drop a W in the chat if you made money today. Let's go. Price is looking a little weak here. So looks like we're headed downtown Julie Brown. So yeah, this is kind of like the, yep, so there's the flush, right? So kind of delayed, but it's here. PW saw that downtown Julie Brown. Yeah, that's old school, man. I think that's yeah, that's, guys, that's taking it back to the old school on you. Let's go. Yeah, there's that flush, right? So this is what I was kind of talking about, chat. Like, it's kind of hard to be long up here. But now that we kind of broke through, maybe we'll get a flush down and retest the 800 level for a better entry to go long. 2.5 minutes left on this candle. So gonna let it kind of close out, and then I'll go from there. And we're going down. Let's go. I like how you mark the wicks, D. That's pretty smart. Yeah. I just kind of picked up on that. So, all right. So this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted right here. So maybe we can get. All right. The 14 EMA is sitting at 804, chat. And of course, we're getting that reaction now back up, right? Classic supply and demand, marking the wicks. Their reaction points, right? Where would we get it if it retests at 800? Yeah, that. So I mean, I will. Now the question is, are we gonna break through this 14 EMA, which is 806, right? But the opening range high is 25,773. So that's like a point of interest. If we can kind of get in between the EMAs, that's even better. But you want to see this low of 25,765 hold up, because if we kind of break that low, then that's not great for bulls. You had highs that were established, higher highs, right? We know that we were able to put in up here, so that's all fine and dandy. But now this is kind of like, this would be like considered a discount buy. The stop would be 764. Bottom of the range, bottom of that gray box, right? Right below the opening range. So we'll see. No wick on the top of this candle as well, the 5-minute chart. All right, I'm gonna try long, guys. Entry was 803. I'm just basically trying to play right off the top of the ORB, right? Seeing if we can get expansion back higher. Maybe to like 840. Trap some shorts. Just trying to see if price is gonna expand higher, right? Form a top wick. Current 5-minute candle does not have a top wick, chat. So I got to take that trade, right? That's my setup. Doesn't always work, but all right, there you go, guys. Let's go, baby. That's 20 points. Let's go, baby. There's a top wick that just formed on a 5-minute chart. Let's go. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna close that out, guys. That's a 23-point trade. Let's go. All right, so why did I take that trade? Opening range. Right above the opening range. Thought process was that higher low to the left should be maintained and it should hold, guys, right? And yeah, so now you can kind of, we got about a minute left on this 5-minute chart. So I know a lot of people probably got trapped, guys. They tried to short down there thinking that we're going to break back below the ORB high. And look at the wick on this current 5-minute candle. So if you notice that people kind of reach out to me all the time, D-Money, how do you trade? So how do you trade the wicks? So that was like a pretty good example, chat, right? Current 5-minute candle that we're in did not have a top wick at all. So it was basically, it opened up and it pushed down, coming into the lower high that was established on the 5-minute chart down here. And I basically took the long, rode it back up, and then my stop was basically back below the ORB. All right, so we got 4,241 people tuning into the stream, guys. Do me a solid. Hit the like button if you're not subscribed to the channel. Let's go. We got 1,600 likes. Trying to get at least a 2,000 likes today, guys. It's Friday. Just trying to make a little money. Somebody said sell off. I mean, no current wick, no current top wick on the current 5-minute candle now as well, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. So if you took that trade, guys, that was basically 20 plus points. PW's out fishing today, so you guys saw he just popped into the stream a couple minutes ago. Trying to make a little money. So he'll be back Monday morning. If this is your first time rocking out with D-Money, I'm typically here Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4. The longs are in play here, chat. Again, unless we break, it's the same process, right? But you got to be careful. And the reason why is because the previous 5-minute candle was not able to put in a higher high compared to the previous candle's high, right? So you got to keep that in the back of your mind. So now I would say we're going into the last 9 minutes. Here's a flush down. The low that I'm talking about, chat, that needs to kind of be maintained and not be in jeopardy is 765. If we take out 765, look out, right? Because that's kind of like should be a line in the sand for bulls short term. 765. So if you're like, oh, I'm gonna get long here, right? So your stop would have to be like 765 or low, or a little bit lower than 765. Not a bad stop loss, but it is strange that we don't have a top wick on the current 5-minute candle. 15-minute chart does look bearish, and the 14 EMA, guys, keep in mind, is at 25,751. And there's a flush. So now $750 is roughly the 15-minute chart's 14 EMA. All right, if you're Fib, and I'm gonna do it like this so you guys can kind of see what I'm saying, right? If you're a Fibonacci trader, we're in the golden pocket, right? 61.8, guys. That matches up with the 14 EMA as well. So you would expect some kind of reaction here to the upside if bulls are still kind of like present, right? Does it always work? Absolutely not. But this would be probably a reactionary level if they're gonna push it higher, guys. If we get a flush down, then there's probably a lot more downside coming, to be honest. No, so the fib was basically placed, yeah, you're supposed to, but I basically placed it, guys, off the volume, right where the volume is, which is a 930 open. And there's your reaction back to the upside, right? So far. Doesn't mean that's gonna hold, but so far. And Nvidia's dragging down. Let's take a look at it. Haven't clicked on Nvidia in a second, right? So let's see what Nvidia is doing. Yeah. Yeah, Nvidia is below the 14 and 50, guys. So you got a bearish cross again on Nvidia. So that's not great. I didn't see any negative news on it. I tried looking. I couldn't find any negative news. I mean, they had a deal, right? But maybe the market's kind of interpreting that as bad news. So Nvidia, yeah, Nvidia selling off, looks weak. NQ is following that. Be careful. You had an initial reaction off the 61.8 on the fib for probably, I don't even know how many points that was, right? But you had a nice size reaction, but now you're getting a sell-off. So I would say be careful, guys. We're back inside the opening range. So that to me is also telling as well. And what I mean by that is that little short term, like these lows got taken. That's not great for bulls. $25,708 is also a level, reactionary level. But I mean, I'll be honest, if Nvidia's ranging, so Nvidia needs to get out of this range, and until that happens, you're probably going to get chopped back and forth on NQ. This is the 1 hour chart on Nvidia. So unfortunately, chat, we might be in for some choppy chop for a while, right? Hate to say it, but so if we start ranging, this is the same play like how I took that long earlier, guys. Like, you don't want to see the bottom of the opening range basically get taken out, right? Because you got like a nice little, if you want to call it a support area on the 5-minute chart. This is the area that I'm talking about. Because if we break that area to the downside, we're probably headed down to 500 level, guys, right? To be honest. So if NQ breaks below that 673, we could be headed to 500. Because there's really nothing like stopping it from doing that. So D-Money, what's your order? D-Money, what's your order at Tropical Smoothie? I like the Bahama Mama. That's my favorite. Not gonna lie. So, because since we're kind of like in this range, you might have to adapt to trading a range, chat. Unfortunately. Or not trade it. That's the other option, clearly. This is their 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart looks really clear. I mean, it does, right? You had a high that was put in up here. Let me take this off. You had a high that was put in up here on the 15-minute chart. And now you're coming back down for a retracement. So this would be the buy zone, basically, guys, on the 15-minute chart. This would be the buy area, right, for longs. Based off the 15-minute chart. And the stop would have to be back below 673. You don't want to see that level get broken. That's how I'm kind of reading it based off the 15-minute. Because if you guys kind of notice, yeah, you don't see that consolidation on the 15-minute chart that you see on the 5-minute chart, chat. That's what I'm basically saying. If you notice that, so it's a lot clearer on the 15-minute chart. You just basically had a pump to the upside, higher highs were put in, and now we retrace down. So in theory, like this 673 level, which was like the low, should technically hold if we're gonna go higher. But there's different ways to play this. If you see price back above the 14 EMA, 748, then that's bullish. And I would say probably I wouldn't be interested right now in longs on NQ unless we're back above 790 because we're at least above the 14 EMA. Like a strong candle that closes above 790, right? That would keep me like balanced and not kind of just hopping into a trade because I see a green candle, I would at least want to see a close above the 14 EMA on the 5-minute chart. I can actually see what this guy is doing. Most traders on here, I'm never sure. Let's go. Caught that long, D-Money. Thanks for the call out. Joey, hey. Nice. Are you from Florida originally? Yeah, I'm born and raised in Florida, chat. Am I in a trade now? No, I'm not in a trade right now. Because I need to see at least price above the 14 EMA on the 5-minute chart. I need to see momentum kind of step into the upside. You having 2 streams today? Yeah, I'm not gonna stream in the afternoon today, chat. It's only gonna be the morning stream today. These 2 red minute candles without a top wick are interesting. Yeah, so all right, so typically my theory with the no wick, chat, is basically you're either gonna get a flush to the downside or you're gonna get a pop back up, right? And since we had 2 consecutive candles, that is definitely something to kind of keep an eye on, is that you know, it could be more downside coming, but I'm just honestly saying the 15-minute chart looks very clear to me, right? 30-minute chart, same thing. I mean, the 30-minute chart could want more of a retracement back down first, but on the 15-minute chart, that 750 level, price was not able to break below the EMAs, chat. That's basically what I'm saying on the 15-minute chart as well. So if you look at the 15-minute chart, we were not able to close it below the 50 EMA. So if we close below the 50, then we're gonna get super bearish, and we're probably headed below 500, to be honest. But if it can hold the 50 EMA and kind of grind higher, then that's why I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if we're back up for new highs on the session. So got to be patient. On the 5-minute chart, we were able to close below the 50, right? Which was bearish. But if they snap this right back up, guys, to the upside, then that was just a trap. Are you from Haiti? No, I'm not. D-Money, you're a very good teacher of being patient, which is hard to do. Yeah, I'm not perfect at that either. I mean, I work on that all the time, chat. That's a daily thing. I think it's funny you said that, because I think I brought that up on the stream yesterday. That's something that I have to work on a daily basis, chat. Trying to be patient. Because it's all like what I had to figure out in trading. A lot of times you could be right on your direction, but maybe you sized in too big, or your stop loss was way too large, right? And that can burn you sometimes, if that makes any sense. Because if you're trading with the wrong size and you got a huge stop loss, guys, meaning that you might not even know where your stop loss is, then you're in trouble. So kind of hanging out below the 50 EMA, that's bearish so far on the 5-minute chart. 15-minute charts hanging out below the 14 EMA. We know that Nvidia is looking bearish, guys. We were just looking at that chart a few minutes ago. So this is, unfortunately, it's wait time. To kind of see what price does. Now this is the new 1-hour candle that just opened. Previous 1-hour candle closed bearish with a long wick at the top. Top wick on the previous 1-hour candle was 75 points roughly, right? About 75 points. So gotta wait. It'll be very interesting to see how this 15-minute candle closes, because if it's able to close above the 14 EMA, then that could have been basically just, you know, a nice size retracement. Before going higher. 153 points retracement. But we're back inside the opening range, guys. So hopefully it's not a day like yesterday or the day before where we're kind of stuck there for the rest of the session, right? I mean, that's possible as well. So just being honest. We got 1,800 people. We got 1,800 likes. Sorry, chat. We got 4,000, almost 4,100 people tuned into the stream. I appreciate the support. Do me a solid, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't already. All right, there's a sell-off coming, right? If you're not subscribed to the channel, let's go. So this is where trading is. You can either learn to be patient during times like this, right? Or probably lose some accounts. Inside of the opening range, these lows need to kind of be held up. 25,707. New 1 hour candle just opened a few minutes ago, right? About 8 minutes ago. Previous candle was bearish with a long exhaustion wick at the top. The 14 EMA is sitting at 25,711. So that's gotta kind of let it build out. I'm literally sitting on my hands, LOL, Mark. So yeah, guys, Lucid's 40% off flex plans, no consistency, no daily loss limit. Use the code PW. It's frustrating if you're a trader. So I'm trying to think of like triggers, like one of my triggers, chat, everybody has triggers, right? When they're trading. So one of my triggers is, okay, maybe you come into the chart right now and you missed the huge pop at the open at 9:30. You didn't catch any of the sell-off. You didn't catch the breakout and then, you know, trying to take the trade right off the ORB high, riding it up, right? So now you're like, oh, I got to trade. I got to catch something. I'm leaving here with something, right? Like I've done that so many times, guys. Everybody has a trigger. I didn't catch anything and lost 850. Yeah, sometimes it's like that, man. All right, here's a rejection coming down. 5-minute chart. We are below the 50 EMA. So that's also interesting, guys. But but we're in a tough spot because the last time we got to 711, we bounced hard, right? So we'll see. All right, there you go. So there's the gray box. There's a reaction off the top of the gray box. So far, About a 22-point reaction so far, right? So if you guys notice, that's why I kind of draw out those areas, right? Because they're levels that a lot of times price does have a reaction, and it doesn't mean that it's gonna last forever, right? But a lot of times you'll get some kind of initial reaction. So now it's gonna be curious to see what happens, because like basically this low down here would want to kind of be maintained if we're gonna go all the way back up. Just grab 10 to 15 point shorts. What's the next best level down? Well, I would say that I wouldn't be short myself now unless we can break that 200 level, 200 EMA, 25,704. Because if we do that, we're probably headed a lot lower. I mean, there's a couple ways to trade this. You can short now and your stop is back above the 50 EMA. Guys, I don't know what's going on with this. Give me a second. Let me see. So yeah, you can reshort this now. If you short now, your stop has to be back above the 50 EMA, right? This 200 EMA is actually 708 is kind of matching up with the 200 EMA on the 5-minute chart, guys. So that's a reactionary level as well. So that could act as a level of support. So I would say I would kind of want a momentum candle to kind of break us through 200 level, and then I'll probably be looking to get short. If we hold that level, then this could be the reversal, honestly, back to the upside. This is a tough spot right now. But if we hold it, yeah, exactly. Yes, the 14 is the red. Yeah, yes, correct. Yes. Jose, careful, chat. Yeah, you got to be careful here. Like you can't really rush, and that's what I'm trying to. You got to be careful because you basically want to see some momentum. All right, so there you go. You're right at the. All right, so now let me take this off because you won't be able to see it, chat. So we're right at the 200 EMA, right? We didn't close below it. We closed right at it. So yeah, I mean, a short could be in play here. Down to 673, guys. Stop would have to be back above the 200 EMA. But you got to be quick on this trade if you're going to take it, guys, because it could snap back. So just be prepared for that. Like, you don't have to take that trade, but if they're going to flush it now, it's headed down to 673, right? That would be the thought process. But you got to be careful because if it snaps back, because you got to keep in mind when you look to the left, the last time we were here, we had a reaction back to the upside. So that's why it's tricky. So you almost want to wait for more conviction. But if they flush this, guys, we're going a lot lower. I can tell you that, right? But this could be a reactionary level back to the upside as well. So it's tricky right now. $15-minute chart looks weak so far, and what I mean, chat, we're at the bottom basically of the opening range. And somebody said shorting here is crazy work after that drop. Yeah, so you got to keep that in mind as well. You almost want to flush like convincing candle that kind of breaks through this level. And then you can look to basically short out the ORB low, right? Four-hour candle right now is bearish. 1 hour candle right now is bearish, right? Which could change, but it is bearish short term. The higher time frame candles are bearish, guys. And that could change in a heartbeat, right? Because we're in a level where the last time we were here, we had a reaction. This is technically the last time we were in this area, we had a reaction back up almost 200 points. DMONEY, is it heading for previous day close? That close is 488, but you would want to see, basically, you need a momentum candle to kind of get us through the opening range low. That's a safer trade. Because if not, we're just going to yoke back the opposite direction, guys, right? Trap some shorts and then head higher. You had a lot of selling pressure down. And remember what I said earlier. Yeah, we had about 181 point sell off, guys. But if we head down, we're gonna bust through this level really hard, and we're probably gonna head down to 578 if they can take it there, right? So this is still kind of like a wait and see. It's too risky to be long or to be short until you get a break of that level with a strong candle, strong momentum candle. Gold dropping equals US getting stronger, so NQ should pop up. I mean, anything's possible, but you just got to kind of trade what you see on the chart. There it is, guys. So let's see if there's follow through, right? So until we break this level, guys, the buy, it's a buy area, right? It's basically a support area. But if that level gets broken, more downside is coming probably pretty quick. Leveraging the higher time frame is definitely the move. The 30-minute makes this current price action make sense. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta, that's what I had to learn though. I had to learn that. That takes time to, like, everybody knows, right? Oh, you can go to the 1 hour chart, 30-minute chart. But the thing is, guys, you gotta try to put it together to make sense for you. So when you're trading, you can kind of put all the pieces together, right? That's the thing. That's the harder part. But technically on a higher time frame, guys, this is a reactionary level. It was just a strong retracement, right? That if I'm bullish, it should hold. If I'm bearish, I want it to break to the downside, right? I mean, that's basically what it is. And we're trying to get out of that area, right? Here we go. So 15-minute chart, guys. Look at the 15-minute chart that I was kind of talking about, right? How it was clear. Now we're getting that push back up. So longs are stepping in. Buyers are stepping in now, guys. Basically at the bottom, right? Buying at the bottom of the ORB. Trapping some shorts now. They're getting nervous. All right, so let's kind of look at 5-minute chart. How do you create that gray box in TradingView? Yeah, it's actually under shapes. So like, if you go to brushes on the left-hand side of your screen, scroll down to shapes, just keep, and you'll see a rectangle there. And then you can change it to whatever color you want. And then you got like a little reaction, right? Back down so far. But the higher time frame, guys, so 30-minute chart forming a bottom wick. 15-minute chart is green, but you got a long wick at the top and the bottom. So there's some indecision going on. D-Money, would you try a long here? I mean, let's see how this 5-minute candle closes. The problem is, though, is that you're back above the 200, which is, that's a good thing, right? You are back above the 200 EMA on the 5-minute chart. You had a lot of selling pressure to the downside, guys. So long is not a horrible idea right now. I like a long. I'm in the long, guys. From 722, we'll see what happens here. There's 10 points. I am gonna trail this, guys. I'm gonna trail this up, so I'm not gonna lose on the trade. Basically, I'll lock in 5 points. But it's looking pretty good, right, so far. There you go. All right, guys, there you go, baby. That's over 20 points. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, I'm gonna take that off, guys. I closed basically right at the 50 EMA. Yeah, sorry. About 15 points. Sorry about that. We got a counter. We got a point counter on our hands. 514. Yeah, that was about 15 points. Gotta love it. Oh, man. With all my respect, you are an extraordinary trader, great teacher, explained so well, so clear. Yeah, I try to be, but I'm not perfect, guys. Yeah, I ended on a 5-minute chart, correct. Yeah, and it's not yeah, Cherry said more than 15 points. Yeah, it probably was, but if I say the wrong number, I'm gonna get it's like I'm, you know, trying to add points to the trade, right? So I rather, maybe it was like 16 or 17, but who knows? Do I watch the 1-minute chart? No, I don't. PO, or sorry, PI, PWE 224. Yeah, I don't. I only do the 5-minute. I used to trade the 1-minute chart, guys, and I had a lot of blown accounts. And that's just me. So you got to know yourself as a trader. I know there's people out there that make money off the 1-minute chart, but I didn't have a lot of luck with that. So. D-Money, you're the best. Thank you, buddy, for all your knowledge and your time here with us. Hey, I appreciate the kind words. Honestly. Dug my eval account from -300 to +77. Think I'm good for the day. No chill. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Because got to keep in mind, guys, we're right inside the opening range and we're selling right back down, right? So this is kind of shaping up to be a chop day. So I would say be careful. Because we know what happens on chop days. Don't leave us. We love you, D-Money. I love you. I love you. I love you. D-Money, you got to do the morning session with us. Your call outs and explanations are really important for us. Personally for me, you make me more patient and enter trades with, I guess you're saying conviction. Yeah, guys. I mean, we typically we do. Actually, I mean, what day was that, Ginger? Was that Wednesday? We have Brett here Wednesday, right? So yeah, we had Brett Simba here, CEO of Tradeify here Wednesday, guys. We did a morning stream, right? So we do that occasionally when schedules permit. So let's go. Katrina, I've been on vacation and your chart has changed. Looks great. What are the black lines? Yeah, the two black lines are actually, that's the opening range, high and low of today's session. So, and it's actually, I need to correct that a little bit because it's a little off. The low is 673.50, so that's off by like a half a point. And the high of the 15-minute, 777, so that's a little higher. I had it drawn off basically the 5-minute RB. There's the drop below, guys. So this thing is, yeah, you got to be careful trading this now because you're gonna get chopped if you're not. Let's go back to the 5-minute chart. But yeah, that's the Katrina. That's the high and the low of the 15-minute RB opening range. All right, guys. So that's the break I was talking about initially, right? So if it closes below this level, then yeah, we're probably headed down to 500. We could be headed down to 500. I'm silly for not making my own YouTube and start streaming. Yeah, guys, I get paid very well to be part of the BDH. So that's why I'm here. You never take a short? Yeah, I take shorts. But I mean, I don't get in, like, it's hard to get in now, right? In the middle of a 5-minute candle. You kind of want to wait for a closure. I mean, that's just how I trade. Because you know what's going to happen? If I get in right now in a short chat, it's going to yoke back the opposite direction. So I would rather wait for this candle to close and show that it's going to close below the opening range. And then I would be more convinced to go short, right? And look what's happening right now. Just know you're missing out. I fully believe a lot of people would join your streams. Yeah, I appreciate that. You teach very well. I believe everybody can agree when I say we want to see you stream more. Hey, I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, but you see, guys, you see why I didn't take that short? You gotta love NQ, man. 32-point pullback, guys. So you would be down almost actually, yeah, look, almost 34 points on that pullback on NQ. If you got short right in the middle of that candle. That's why I had to learn myself, chat, to wait for candles to close out, because I'm that guy, guys, that would be, oh, I gotta short it, right? And now all of a sudden I'm down 30 points. And like, how big is your stop, realistically? So a lot of people probably got stopped out on this candle, to be honest. And we're right back inside the ORB, guys. Right back inside it. Florida KC1 just joined, was able to take 30 points on that drop. Tight stop. Nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the purple line is actually yesterday's high. Katrina, so it's yesterday's. So yeah, typically when I'm at this, yeah, it's yesterday's high and yesterday's low of the daily candle. So yesterday's daily candle, that's the high and the low of the candle. So just like, so when you go to the lower time frame, you're able to kind of know like where price is, like, right? So I do that every day. No top wick on a 5-minute candle. Yeah, I know. So, I mean, do you get short right here? Put your stop at 697. Maybe wait for a little bit more of a push up. But the problem is you're shorting at the bottom of the ORB, chat. Right, that's the hard part. I'm gonna try it, guys. I'm gonna try a short. Only gonna trade one contract though. And I would say be careful. You don't have to take this trade, guys, because it's in the ORB, and that's just, and it's probably not gonna work, to be honest. So don't feel obligated to take this trade. But basically my entry was 679. And I'm trying to see if we'll break back down, guys, basically, right? And test 651. Put in a new low. Might not happen, guys. So that's why I said, do not feel like you got to take this trade. I'm going to call that out and be transparent, because we didn't break below the ORB, right? We kind of snapped back, but I'm just trying to see if that momentum can kind of step back in to the downside. So be careful. You don't have to take this trade. But I want to see if we can kind of retest these lows at 652 or 648 at least. But you kind of want to see it go now. It's a good trade, but it's a little risky because we're right inside the ORB, right? That's why I'm saying that, chat. All right, can we get a little bit more to the downside? All right, there you go, baby. All right, that was over 10 points, and then you got a snapback, right? So sometimes you got to kind of take it when it's on the table, and I didn't take it off. Let me check. How's the 15-minute chart? Yeah, see, the 15-minute, guys, is reacting right off the that's not good. It's reacting right off the 200 EMA, so, and no top wick. So I probably should have closed that trade for 10 points, guys. To be honest. Should have took it off. Because now it could snap back, but we'll see. Entry was 679, was up 10 points. Try to see if we can kind of sell off, trap some shorts. Or sorry, trap some longs and kind of flush lower, right? That was a thought process, but I'm gonna get snapped on this. So yeah, if you took that trade, I hope you guys took the 10 points. But no top, no bottom wick or no top wick on the 5-minute chart. That's not good, guys. So that's why a lot of time, right? Yeah, see, and like you don't want to see this. This is not good. This is not good right now. There you go. There's the push. You got about 34 seconds left on this candle. And I would not be surprised if it's a yoke. Because you would want to see this break down already. And kind of go right, put in new lows, and not kind of stall right at the ORB. So that's why on that trade, guys, I was like kind of open, right? You didn't have to take that. That wasn't a little bit of a risky trade. You got 10 points if you close. I saw some people posted some W's. But you kind of want price to kind of fall, right? And go. Let's see if this is let's see what happens here. And I might just take this off, guys, because and wait for the next candle to kind of, if I can get through that level, because I don't want to hold this. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Should have took the 10 points on that trade. But that happens sometimes, right? All the other time frames, I mean, 15-minute chart, you got no top wick. So this is either gonna flush hard, guys, or it's gonna kind of correct itself, right, and push higher. So that's why I'm saying it's a little bit of a risky trade. Probably would have wanted a top wick to form and then a push down. Probably would have got a bigger move to the downside. Oh, let me move this. Sorry, guys. And it's kind of building out like right after that ORB, guys, right? It's kind of building out like lower highs or higher lows so far. Look at the 5-minute chart. It's building out higher lows. So I smell a reversal coming. Yep. So let me close this out, guys. I don't like it. And I would probably say that there's probably some buys coming. I tried to give it room to break down, right? It didn't break down. You never got to close back below the RB, so that was a riskier trade, guys. I know a lot of people took a W on that because they took the 10 points. So that's fine, but it happens. So for me to get short again, I need to see price close below that 673 level. That's how I'm going to trade it. What platform is this? Trade-of-8 prop. Break even is break even a W? I mean, you didn't take a loss, so. When will I go long in this situation? So the tough part is that we're below all the EMAs, but there's a pop, right? And that's what I'm seeing on the 5-minute chart, chat. That's exactly what I'm saying. That I saw like these higher lows be put in, which is not great if you're bearish, right? It's like that's what you don't want to see. You don't want to see price kind of start to build out some momentum to the upside, and that's what's happening, right? You got a low, you got a higher low, you got a higher low. So that tells you that price is kind of climbing. So now, if we kind of sell off here and reject, I'll be looking to go short. Like I said, if we close below 670. So if I'm looking to go long, you want 670 basically to hold, guys. That would have to be your stop if you're kind of trading like what I'm talking about. 670 like will probably be your stop because that would be a new lower low, right? And you don't want to see that. Or actually, I'm sorry, 667 would be your stop. 667. How much do I make off 10 points? It depends on the size. Depends on the size that you're trading. If you're trading one contract per account, that's $200 per account. All right, the longs are in play, guys, unless we break down below 670. That's how you got to trade it, right? If it breaks below 670, then I would say look out. But if it stays above there, we're pushing higher. Because that's the pattern, right? That's the pattern that's been basically happening. All right, so we're right at the 200 EMA. Let's check these higher time frames. So the 1-hour chart still bearish so far, right? 4-hour chart is still bearish. 30-minute chart is bullish. You got a long wick at the bottom. But we're at the bottom. We're inside of the we're right at the bottom, guys, of the opening range, right? 25,673.50. So this is the last time we were here. At 9:30, we had a reaction back to the upside, right? A pretty big reaction. That's what that arrow is. So you can't really go short here unless price kind of breaks down below the ORB with a strong candle and close right below the RB, not wick it, because this candle here had a wick. So let's see what happens here. You do have a bearish EMA cross on a 5-minute chart. No, I'm not long. I was just basically calling that trade out, right? That if you're playing the long, your stop has to be basically below the previous candle's low. It's one of those sessions. All right, guys. So we're at we got 1,900 likes. So do me a solid, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed to the channel, typically I stream Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4. PW streams Monday through Friday, typically 9 a.m. He's not here today. He's actually out on his new boat doing some fishing. So just trying to make a little money. Did you change from 50 EMA to 200 EMA? Florida KC1? No, I just added it. So I have the 14 to 15 to 200. Awesome. I think I'm caught up. I had a beautiful 30-point trade earlier today. Thanks for all that you do. Great to be back in action. Hey, I appreciate that, Katrina. Thanks. DMONEY, I'm $200 off of passing my buffer on my Take Profit Pro account and beating intraday. What's the play here? It's a 25K account. Yeah, the play right now is to be a little patient, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because we're kind of, you can go, if you're taking longs, if you're like trying to get long here, the only way you can kind of play this, or the way that I trade it, is where am I going to put my stop? So my stop right now would have to either be back below the ORB at 672, or my stop would have to be below a previous candle's low, right? Because we're kind of slow grinding up right now. Now that could change in a heartbeat. This candle could flush through the ORB and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, we're super bearish, right? So you got to kind of trade what you see on the chart. But as of right now, we're putting in higher lows, right? We got a low, we got a higher low, we got a higher low, we got a higher low. So we're slowly grinding to the upside as of right now. So there's nothing for me to go short yet. I would probably want to see us back below the ORB's low, 25,673. So let's see what happens, right? Price is kind of hanging out now right at the 200 EMA. Where's previous day close? Lewis, yeah, it's actually 25,488.75. So that's what I feel like if we break, but I mean, this is a lot of, somebody said it's a bear flag, right? So could have been a fake out to kind of trap some longs, and then now we flushed back down below 673. Could be, right? Currently hanging out right below the 200 EMA on the 5-minute chart. And I kind of looked at that, right? I said 4-hour chart's bearish right now, 1-hour chart's bearish. So it's just a matter of, okay, like where are the bears going to step back in, guys, and kind of take over if that's the case for shorts. Overall, 15-minute chart, is this, you got to be careful though, because this could simply be a pullback just to go higher. And that's what's happening right now, guys. Slow grind up. So the longs are in play here, guys. Probably to at least for probably for a nice pop. Because it's basically doing the same pattern, right? Now the 14 EMA and the 50 EMA is going to be a telling area, because if we can close basically above 25,722, then we're probably going to test 730. And if we can get above there, then we're going a lot higher, right? But it's almost like it's too clean. Like why, right? It's almost like it's too clean. Like the price action on the 5-minute chart, like low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. But I would say that until that changes, we're short-term bullish. Price has to basically break back down, right? And get rejected like somewhere. And it could be here at the 14 EMA. We'll have to see. Somebody said the short is coming. That bear flag's not cooperating right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's the reason why you have to like kind of look at that is, see, here's the pop, guys. This is what I'm saying. Yep. The bear flag is not working right now, guys, because we had a reaction back the opposite direction at 9:30. So everybody's kind of watching that, right? And that's what we're doing right now. We're headed back up. So bulls are in control short term right now, guys. If we close above the 14 EMA and the 50 EMA, then I would say that we're probably headed, we could be headed up to 780, probably 800, and like maybe even putting in a new high on the session. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but you got to trade what you see on the chart. Price kind of swiped so far the opening range low, trapped some shorts down here that kept holding, and now we're pushing right back up. NQ loves to do that. So, and that's what's happening on a 5-minute chart. So let's see how this candle closes out. Yep. Bulls are back, guys. Short term. Need to get through this this level though with all these wicks up here, right? But short term, I mean, we just closed above the 200, the 14, and the 50, guys. That's bullish. I mean, that's one candle. So now the hard part is, where's the entry, right? To go long. Is it below, right? Do you try to trade it as a breakout? Probably a little risky. Or do you wait for a retracement? New hour lunch. Yeah, let's go. Little pullback, then first up, probably, yeah. Entry was 50 points back, yeah. I think there's more upside coming, chat. So, because look at the 15-minute chart, guys, right? It makes sense on the 15-minute chart, the higher time frame, when you start kind of going up time frames. 30-minute chart's bullish now, right? You got 3.5 minutes left on that chart. So that's bullish. The 1 hour chart, look at the 1 hour chart now, chat. So let's see how this candle kind of closes. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're back at 800. Maybe you get some kind of retracement first, but I mean, these higher lows on a 5-minute chart, I mean, that's kind of right off the ORB low, kind of gave away what they were going to do, right? Because like price didn't break down, so. Two minutes and a half left. 800 then crash. To be honest, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you look at this 1 hour chart. It's hard to be bearish right now. What do you do when there's a contradiction between the 5-minute and 1 minute chart in EMAs? VWAP is at 764 in the 1 minute. Yeah, to be honest, I don't trade the VWAP and I don't trade the 1 minute chart, so I couldn't really tell you, to be honest. Yeah, I couldn't really tell you on that. And there's more, right? Just took a W, nice. 1 minute is for micro scalpers mainly. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, to each his own on that, Chad. I just didn't have a lot of success with the 1 minute chart. You got to know your strengths as a trader and kind of stick to that. Crypto Surfer Power 3 indicator showed you the 1 hour chart on the screen. I love it. Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with that indicator. Been scalping 5 and 10 points off this, LOL. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, guys. D-Money, do you think we can put in a new high on the day? It's possible. I mean, you're getting a pullback right now. But that's probably because we're going into the close of a 1 hour candle. So now the 1 hour candle closed bearish, guys. All right. But you got a long wick at the bottom. So that's some indecision going on. 30-minute chart closed above the 14 EMA. You got a rejection candle. So like if you're short-term bearish on the 5-minute chart, you want to see a breakdown lower now, right? Because you had a rejection wick and you had basically some selling pressure here the last time price was in this area, but that could be a fake out to go higher. So, but this, you want to kind of see price start to break down now to the downside, right? Kind of reject these EMAs. So it's a tricky area right here. But the last time we were here, we had a sell-off, chat. Back to the downside, right? And that's what's happening right now. I feel confident when D-Money's on stream. Thanks, bro. Hey, I appreciate the kind words, man. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's you know, what I would say here is be careful, right? But you do have some rejection here. Last time we were in this area, kind of sold back down. So 1 hour chart did not close bullish. So would not be surprised if we get more of a sell-off here to the downside, to be honest. But we're in that time of day where it's lunchtime, so things can get a little choppy. But I feel like the 5-minute chart was super clean, guys, right on those highs. So are they gonna, on those higher lows, are they gonna get taken out? Who knows, right? I mean, I guess you got to kind of wait and see. The 1 hour chart did not close bullish, but it closed above the 14 EMA. And right now the 5-minute chart's respecting the 200 EMA. So for sell pressure to kind of step in, guys, you want it below that 200 EMA, right? There'll be a lot of sell pressure back down to like 670. So and that will probably happen really quick if that's going to happen, right? But if it gets back above the 14 and the 50, then that was just the open of that 1 hour candle. It has a very small top wick, and it could be basically going to expand higher. So this is kind of like a tough area as well. You got to be patient and wait. If you can get a close below 200, guys, 704, I would probably say that there's a lot of selling pressure coming on NQ. But if it can't get back below 704, then longs are technically in play, because the 200 EMA is a pretty strong indicator as far as price. So if they're able to push this down below that 200 EMA, I would say look out to the downside. But if they don't, we're headed higher, guys. Really the only way I can read that right now. Do I smoke cigarettes or vape? No, I don't. What is that gray box? Yeah, that's just kind of illustrating the last time we were in this area, we had a sell-off. That's all. Doesn't mean that's going to continue, but it just kind of helps. I think it's easier on the eyes to kind of see it. All right, below the 14 and the 50, guys. So I would say be careful in this area, guys, because it's kind of chopping around. You won't follow through in either direction, but because what I'm saying is we were just below the 14, now we're back above the 14, right? You want like a breakdown. You want price to go lower. Take out 673 to the downside, basically. Trap some short or trap some longs up here if they're going to drop it, right? Because they can go the opposite direction, and that's what's happening right now. So this is a no trade time, guys, more than likely for me. We're at that time where it's kind of like let price kind of set up a little bit, get back above the, so if it's above all 3 EMAs, then I guess you would have to be short-term bullish. If it's below all 3 EMAs, you're short-term bearish, but you need follow-through. So D-Money, Fabio D-Money, I need you. Am I going live at 1:30? No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not, guys. So there's no afternoon stream today. So I'll be back doing the afternoon stream on Monday, chat. PW is gonna be back on Monday as well in the morning at 9 a.m. So do me a solid, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't already, if you're not subscribed to the channel. Let's go. So yeah, I would say shorts are probably stepping in here, guys. I would just be careful. I'm going to call it. So I'll be looking to go short if we're probably below the 200 EMA. with conviction, right? So that's my play, guys. More than likely, right? This is the top of yesterday's ORB. Yeah, I know, go figure. What is the music playing? This is deep focus music, high performance study and workflow music. So Focus 369 is the channel. Let's go. Still a huge bear flag. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, I do feel that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, right, if they kind of break it down, but I would say be careful, because you're kind of like in that time where price, like, they like to kind of stall, but it looks weak. Yeah, this is a huge range. Yeah, I know. Done for today, up 2,400 with you, DMONEY. Thanks for the stream. Batters, hey, I appreciate that. We like 700 whole number, new red on the 5 minute. Yeah, could be. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it. I appreciate the support. Do me a solid, hit the like button if you haven't already, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, we just trying to make a little money. So I'll be back Monday at 1:30. PW will be back Monday as well, guys. He's out on the boat today fishing, so he'll be back Monday at 9 a.m. So hopefully next week will be a week of some better price action. That's all we can pretty much hope for. I got my daughter today, guys. I'm going to pick up my daughter from daycare today. I got her Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's go. So we'll be getting into something. There'll be a whole lot of Miss Rachel. There'll be a whole lot of Miss Rachel on Netflix, guys. I can probably, to be honest, guys, I can probably sing you all the songs that Miss Rachel sings on there, because there's only like 2 episodes on Netflix, right? So not 2 episodes. 2 seasons, and there's only like 8 episodes, so I can sing you guys all the songs that Miss Rachel has on there, man. She doesn't want to watch anything other than Miss Rachel, chat. So, but I'm not gonna lie, her shows are very informational, like very informational for kids. So. Thank you so much for explaining why you take trades. You have helped me so much, and now I'm $54 away from my first payout. Jasmine, man. Hey, congrats on that. But I don't take any credit for that. You're doing all the work, right? I'm not hitting buy or sell for you, so congrats. I'm hopeful that you get that payout. Best of luck. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it. I appreciate the support. There's the breakdown, guys. So I'm gonna call it. I'll catch you guys on Monday. We gone.